Hey peeps, welcome to 2-3 Supply and Demand. We were just talking in a Desmos activity about shoes and how Nike in particular does this quick strike program where they only make so many shoes. A lot of people want them. They're willing to pay a lot of money for them. It kind of ties into what we talk about today with supply and demand. Of course, if there's a lot of energy and excitement and demanding of a product, hopefully the company can provide it, but maybe they don't make a bunch, keeping that exclusivity nice and together. We'll start with a few terms that I think are going to help you with this activity, starting with the widget. This is really just an unnamed item versus saying, oh, it's a thing. It's a, whatchamacallit. A company will just say, all right, it's a widget. We don't have the perfect name for it yet. We don't know if we're going to call it the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation Plus. So maybe in the beginning phases, we just call it a widget. A function coming back from algebra of yesteryear passes the vertical line test. Very vague. So let me draw a bit of an example to help you. It's pretty much saying that for every X value, we have one unique Y value. If we had a graph that was graphed out, this is considered a function. This is not considered a function because this could have a vertical line drop through it just one time only. This would drop through infinitely many times. So it's a function if it passes the vertical line test. We'll soon see that when we graph out these supply and demand functions, they look a little different, but we hope that they're a function. The demand function, what do you think that is? That's going to relate the demand and the price. You know, if there's only so many of something made, the price might be up a little bit higher. So that demand function can kind of tell us how much we should price something. The demand, of course, is, I don't know, how many people really want the product? You know, people keep saying, this is something we need. This is something we need. We need a video game console that doesn't overheat. We know that's a demand. If there are people all over the world that want something, that also says something about the demand, or a lot of people can use it. So there we go, talking about the demand part. We also hit the supply. So of course, people are going to want a product. The supply is actually how many items the company can make. So not so much how many items they can make, like how big is their catalog. It's like how many items are rather available. So how many items the company makes available to the customer. You know, if there's 100 people that are demanding ice cream, maybe the ice cream place gets 105 in case people buy more. It's always important to know your audience. Speaking of the audience, well, not every item just ends up at a place. Sometimes you have to buy it from somewhere else. So the wholesale price is how much a business pays to get a product in store from a main company. So for example, GameStop, everyone loves GameStop, especially after the stocks that went crazy with that. So GameStop, let's say, sells PS5 for what, 600 bucks? But GameStop buys the PS5, each one, maybe for 200 bucks. What do you think the profit is for GameStop? Hopefully you're saying 400 bucks, the difference between the two. So what's mentioned here, the retail price, that's how much we pay. So in this example, the $600 is how much the customer pays. If you've ever watched The Price is Right, they will do that beginning bidding process on an item and guess how much it's going to be. And then they say the retail price is this, that, whatever the price is. The markup, this is a percentage, usually, that the business marks up a product to make a profit. if we're bouncing off of the example seen up here, we see that the GameStop is going to sell their PS5 for $600. So they make the $200 back that they invested, but they also have a markup of 200%. It's not bad. Pretty good because they make 400 and they only paid 200. So there we go for there. Equilibrium, supply and demand is going to eventually be graphed, and we'll see that in a moment, where we'll have two graphs, one for supply, one for demand. The equilibrium is going to be where these two lines intersect, meaning that the supply matches the demand. And that's a sweet spot because the company is not making more than they can sell, and they're meeting every demand. Everyone who wants one's going to get one. Sometimes a company makes too much or makes too little, in which case the demand is very high. Like let's say here, 5,000 people want a PS5. And this is a pretty common issue, but Sony only made 100. So they had all this money they could have made, but the main thing here is that our equilibrium kind of balances it out for both of these lines. Hope that helps. And the shift talks about how the function moves. We'll see some examples on this shortly. I don't think the section's too bad. I hope that these terms help you be successful here. If you have any questions, please reach out. Thanks for watching.